Okay, so we did the South Africa Immunization Project with Julie, Tanya, Laurie, Emily, and Miranda. A little bit about our plan is to we want to help people understand what the South Africa Immunization Project is all about. In the meantime, we'll help educate others on getting immunizations to people in need. We will help find a group willing to purchase vaccinations and send them out free of charge. We'll also be helping find a group willing to finance sending our group members out to South Africa to work on our project. And we will also be finding someone to help renew our SAIP plan annually. Our mission statement is getting regular vaccinations ensures that families stay alive and healthy. A little bit about our project is that it's a humanitarian foundation that helps deliver free vaccinations to families in South Africa that are in need. Our primary goal is to help eradicate and decrease the spread of diseases in South Africa by the year 2030. This foundation is implemented primarily from donations from UNICEF, LDS charities, and even is associated with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
So one of the challenge is finding the children that are in need of these vaccines. Vaccines themselves save 2 to 3 million lives each year, and by vaccinating the children, you're protecting them against serious diseases and helping to eradicate the preventable child diseases. Now, there is a low immunization level among the poor, and a lot of these children can be found in the South African area. And over 1.5 million children die annually from disease that could have been prevented by vaccinations. So one of the first vaccines that we're focusing on is the MMR, which stands for the measles, mumps, and rubella. Now this is a first 3-part vaccine, and it's estimated that over 500 million doses have been administered in over 60 countries since its development in 1971. This is usually given to children around 1 year, and then at school age between 4 or 5. So we decided to show some of the pictures of the symptoms of these diseases. The first one is of the measles. Some of the symptoms that the children will have when they contract this disease is they'll have cold or flu-like symptoms with a fever, cough, runny nose, and a sore throat. And they'll also have red and runny eyes. And about 3 to 5 days later, they will develop a rash all over their body. The second picture is of rubella. So 25 to 50% of anyone who contracts the rubella virus doesn't have any symptoms. Those who do get some symptoms will usually have a low-grade fever, headache, mild pink eye, general discomfort, swollen and enlarged lymph nodes, and a cough, runny nose, and a rash. Now the third picture is of the mumps. This is known as the puffy cheeks, known for the puffy cheeks and the swollen jaw. Those symptoms will include fever, headache, muscle aches, tiredness, loss of appetite, swollen salivary glands, but a lot of people won't experience any symptoms. The second vaccine that we're focusing on is the Tdap, which is the tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. The tetanus is known as the locking jaw, and the diphtheria will usually affect the mucous membranes of the nose and the throat. And the pertussis is highly contagious respiratory disease, which will cause the whooping sound whenever the infected individual coughs. Now this can affect people of all the ages, but it's especially serious and even deadly for babies who contract it at less than a year old. So the first picture is of a little boy who has the tetanus. You can tell by the tightening of the muscles. The second picture is of a child with diphtheria. That's where you will create a thick gray coating on the back of your throat, making it difficult to breathe. And the third picture is of a little boy who has the whooping cough, which causes severe coughing, causing that whooping sound. And the third vaccine that we're focusing on is polio. Now, this is a crippling disease and is usually deadly with those who contract it. Now, this is spread from person to person, and it infects a person's brain and spinal cord. And those who contract it will usually become paralyzed. Now, this first vaccine was introduced in the United States in 1955, and the U.S. has been polio-free since 1979. Now, the first two pictures are some children that have the polio disease. You can tell by the first picture of the deformed limbs on the little girl's legs. And those who contract this will usually end up needing leg braces, crutches, or even a wheelchair. The last picture is what is called an iron lung. This is used to help treat the polio to help the individual be able to breathe.
Now we want to make sure we can get our vaccine there, and so we need the price data information. UNICEF is helping us with a significant role in this to get the vaccine and be able to bring it to the children. We want to get this recognition going on with UNICEF so that we have greater transparency and we can have publishing and current and future awarded prizes for the vaccines. The following consultations of vaccine suppliers to UNICEF is helping make the price information more transparent for us. The vaccine that is received from UNICEF can be a really integral part of what we need to do in order to make sure that these kids get it. Besides getting the funding for it, UNICEF is going to help us make sure we find the vaccines.
Funding LDS Church humanitarian aid. The LDS Church has spent $1.2 billion on welfare and humanitarian efforts. Volunteers will be working with the immunization efforts in South Africa to help get the immunizations needed into remote locations. The goal of the South Africa Immunization Project is to help eradicate infectious diseases. The LDS Church will help that with needed efforts towards our project. The South African Immunization Project will provide awareness about vaccination campaigns and monitor what diseases cause the most problems. Humanitarian aid from UNICEF and LDS philanthropies. These are just some examples of nonprofits that are doing what we'd like to do as in our project. Immunizations save 2 to 3 million lives each year by protecting children against serious diseases. Vaccines now protect more children than ever before, but nearly 1 in 5 infants misses out. Over 1.5 million children die annually from diseases that can be prevented. The lives of 54,000 children were improved following an immunizing campaign in Cape Verde, Africa. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation gives supplies. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is another group that's doing that. They can give vaccines and immunizations to those countries that can't get the help needed. Population. We are focusing on the needs of the people of South Africa. Sample population, the immunization gaps were greatest in Mpumalanga and Gauteng, where 10.4 and 6.6% children in this age group had fallen through the net.
The South African Immunization Project, we use resources from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, LDS Charities, UNICEF, and have them donate money towards vaccinations. And then we work with these nonprofits to help the less fortunate in South Africa. We've raised money for over 1,000 kids, and we come out to them 3 times a year. This would be a tax write-off for the companies, and we would have the experience of helping the kids in need. Haiti has a good vaccination supply chain that's an effective source for vaccine management, and we would use them as our way of trying to get the vaccinations out to the people and children in Africa. And we would use this with this knowledge and the resources that we have. Some of the things that we noticed with this project is that there's not enough funding. We wouldn't always be able to travel there, not be able to buy enough vaccines, not enough volunteers to come and help us, and we'd have to educate those volunteers too. But pretty much it all came down to money and getting enough vaccines to the kids, and hopefully having enough workers that would be there to hopefully educate all the people and children there in South Africa. With the sustainability, our plan would be there for a year. And over this time, we would make sure that the kids, getting vaccines to kids. And then we would then partner with South Africa and then work with the Prime Minister, Aaron, who would make sure our program would be there. We would be fundraising during that time and get the needed vaccines to the children. Another issue transporting the vaccines is maintaining correct temperatures while out in the field. One option is to utilize solar-powered portable refrigeration. We would then use what we have learned from Haiti and apply it to our program in South Africa. And that is it.
11 minutes, 32 seconds. Are we still recording?
No. But